আজকের এই প্রেস কনফারেন্স by Mr. Rizvi Ahmed and a prestigious New York law firm Marshall R. Isaacs, joining here Mr. Ross to explain the cause has made publicly the inflicted by Shoji Wajed Joy, which was he posted in a Facebook page and instigate the media to cover his story, a false information, the false accusation that Mr. Rizvi Ahmed trying to and plotting, killing, kidnapping and harming Mr. Shoji Wajed Joy, the son of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and that was totally false. The accusation was wrongly published all over the media in Bangladesh, print media, electronic medias, all over. And we are here today to explain and strongly denying those accusations, which was not anywhere in court paper.
In order to speak further upon matters of Mr. Ahmed and what has happened in the past and what's currently going on. Right now we take very seriously all of the different statements that have been made, whether it's social media, on newspapers around the world or here in the United States, to different things that are said. We're looking at the veracity of these statements, we're looking into their truthfulness, and to see what, after our investigation, we find. A lot of the statements that are made to this law firm to be false. We've read all of the statements, we've had a thorough analysis and investigation of the materials that have been presented in the news media, on Facebook, on other social media sites, and what we're doing now is we're going to look to see if further legal action needs and is required to be taken. If it is, we can guarantee that we will take further action in this matter. I appreciate Mr. Ahmed coming down to speak with us, and Mr. Sadi for his work and his help in this matter. Some of the materials that we've seen contain statements by Mr. Joy that Mr. Ahmed patently denies. He 100% finds that some of these statements where people were promised money in an abduction murder plot, Mr. Ahmed is here now with us, has said are completely false. So to make a statement like this, where there's no proof or evidence coming from anywhere except from Mr. Joy, harms Mr. Ahmed's family, harms his standing in his community, and harms the good work that he does try to do. So I find that the statements made need to be investigated thoroughly. They need to be looked at to check their veracity and to find out what harm is really happening to Mr. Ahmed because of these false statements. Mr. Ahmed is not connected to the BNP party. He is not involved, that his father was a political figure there, but that he personally was not involved. So there's no link here between the BNP party and a plot that Mr. Joy seems to be the only person stating actually was out there. Again, we're going by my client's statements, we're going by statements that are made in Facebook and on the media, and we're going by statements included in a press release by the courts. So what I'd like to just get across here is that at this point in time, we're looking into all of the statements that are made, we're looking into all of the statements by the U.S. Department of Justice, and we're looking into what Mr. Ahmed has clearly come forth of his own volition to discuss here with us today. What I'm trying to say is the court paperwork never accused Mr. Ahmed of those crimes. Never came out according to Mr. Ahmed in the court paperwork that we have. Just because somebody makes a statement doesn't make it true. And just because it's on the internet doesn't make it true.
The nation wants to know what is going on.
Some of the print media did tell the truth, which is $300 million corruption. We all know that. But what happened in Bangladesh, Bangladesh media, nobody has control over. It's all run by basically whoever is in power. So whatever they dictate, they are preaching it. So what's saying in Bangladesh, nobody believes it. You know that? Everybody knows this in this group, period.
But that doesn't mean that statements that Mr. Ahmed is out to kill or to harm a member of another party, Mr. Joy, for him to say that is really something that needs to be investigated and analyzed. Why did he say it? Because Mr. Ahmed has clearly stated here today that was never part of the charges that he received and that he never tried to do that.
So in the future, when anyone accuse him again, is he going to take really legal action? But in American law, you know?
But he has taken the steps to hire Marshall R. Isaac's law firm here. Marshall and I have come here today. My name is Ross Schiller, and Marshall Isaacs has come here today to make that statement. The statement that we hear shows that he's taking everything being said extremely seriously. We do have to do our own due diligence. Everything has a procedure that needs to be involved. But I can tell you that if legal action is required and it's found to be necessary, it is 100% going to be taken. But Mr. Ahmed, in this case, has shown by us coming here today that he is interested in moving forward with legal action. He wants us to further investigate every matter. He's bringing all the documents to our attention and all the documents that we've reviewed. And there's a lot of them. It's a lot of documents. And the fact is that in this case, BNP has not been linked to Mr. Ahmed. So we want to make sure that everything we do moving forward is going to be going forward the right way. We appreciate the fact that you've come down to ask Mr. Ahmed face to face what his involvement was BNP involved? Was this a plot, or was this simply the actions that Mr. Ahmed had chosen to take? And I think he's alluded to the fact of what he's decided to do and how he stepped forward today. Rumors start for a reason. Rumors are out there, and there's been studies that show that rumors spread like a virus. Sometimes that virus, you think you have a cold when you don't. Sometimes you've had a stressful day and you sneeze and all of a sudden, I have a cold, I have the flu, I have this, I have that, and you run to the store and you buy a whole bunch of antibiotics and things and over-the-counter medicine to try to take care of something. A rumor spreads like a virus. Sometimes, though, what you hear is not true. And you really have to take it and be incumbent upon yourself to look at the veracity of those statements and to decide, did he do something that was for the benefit of my country? Was there something that was said that really isn't true? Was BNP part of a plot here? And the answer is, the court paperwork doesn't show that. Mr. Ahmed has stated that it doesn't show it. So I think that a rumor sometimes has to be cut down a little bit, and you have to kind of look at it yourself. That's why we appreciate media turning around and saying, you know what, if things were said and they really weren't true, we're going to make sure that it's published that it wasn't true. We're going to make sure that maybe apologies are given where they're supposed to be. And maybe the people in government and in politics aren't going to be so quick to jump. I think that you do have courage to come out, and I think that the Constitution of the United States allows freedom of speech here and allows you to say your views, and we are very happy that the media could come and we were able to have this conference. And I think that's really what this was about. It's about being able to speak freely and to encourage your views. But it's also about finding out the truth and the veracity and doing further investigation and looking into these matters. And if further legal action is required, then that's certainly what your attorneys will take.
Yes.
Thank you.
আমরা এখানে এসেছি আজকে রিজভী আহমেদ এর প্রেস কনফারেন্সে, যেখানে উপস্থিত আছেন one of the prestigious law firm, Marshall R. Isaac, attorney Mr. Ross here, এবং রিজভী আহমেদ উনি বলবেন, এবং আমাদের অ্যাটর্নি উনিও বলবেন যে আজকে আসলে আমরা এখানে কেন এসেছি, এবং ইউনাইটেড স্টেটসে লয়ের যে ফ্রিডমটা আছে, freedom of speech, freedom to conduct any kind of press conference in this land, and it's a right for any citizen of the United States of America. And it shows today that আমরা আজকে এই কনফারেন্সটার জন্য। And I'll let Mr. Ross to start up and conclude this meeting today.
Thank you, Mr. Sadi. My name is Ross Schiller. I'm from the law firm of Marshall R. Isaacs. We're a law firm located here in Manhattan, and we were invited today by Mr. Sadi and Mr. Ahmed to discuss his matters that have been ongoing. Mr. Joy has made statements in the print media that are going to be thoroughly investigated by our law firm. We're going to do an analysis into all of the statements by not only himself, but by the media itself, whether it's social or electronic, and we're going to determine the veracity of these statements. If further legal action is required, certainly Mr. Ahmed has given our law firm the permission and the go-ahead to take that action if necessary. Mr. Ahmed has come of his own volition today to talk to the media, and we appreciate you also taking the time to have this press conference with him. Here in America, we are entitled to have a freedom of speech. I know in your countries, around the world, and in your country, that also exists. But here, he'd like to make a few statements, and I'm going to let Mr. Ahmed speak.
Well, everything they already said, what I was going to say. The only thing I'd like to clarify, অনেক লেখা হচ্ছে যে আমার সাথে এই শরিত যে শরিত বিএনপি জাতীয় পার্টি নেম ইট there is no party is involved. Let me make this very clear. There is no party is involved. It's me who did everything. And it's simple as that. This story has to end here today. It's me who did it, I'm paying for it, that's end of discussion. Anything else is all false. So anything else, there's not enough to say.
So I think that what you're saying to the media is that BNP had no involvement,
Or any other parties.
or any other parties for that matter,
Yeah.
and that you took certain actions, and that's why you've made this statement.
Yeah,
today.
everything has to end today, period. Because people cannot write what they feel like it, just to please this person or that person. Okay, if anything is done that can cause me, I'm going to take legal action. It's that simple. You know, it's not funny, it's not a matter of joke, this is a serious matter. So, the Burman I was found guilty of 2 counts, bribery and wire fraud, that's the end of it, has nothing to do with anything else. So,
Mr. Ahmed is taking it upon himself to say to the media that he was found guilty. It takes a lot of courage to come forth and to say something personal about yourself and what's happened. But what he has stated is that BNP was not involved and that he's moving forward with his life. He cares about the Bengali people and about his country, and that's why he's here.
and আরেকটা কথা হলো আপনি যদি সত্যি আপনারা যারা শুনবেন দেখবেন এটা আপনারা যদি সত্যি দেশকে ভালোবাসেন find out the truth what really happened. It's not me, you guys know what the real truth is, and that's all I have to say. As a any দেশ যে দেশকে ভালোবাসে তারাও আমি যা করছি they would not see any wrong way or bad way. I think they'll feel sympathy for me for what I did. So
Thank you very much for your statements.
thank you.